Which would I prefer as Tanis Mbappé? Radio broadcast via stereo or television via flat screen TV? So this is, I thought this was an interesting one because I've mentioned previously on this channel that hearing, sound, acoustics is kind of top of my 5 main senses, not sight. I got pretty bad eyesight. So this is one that is actually an interesting versus, I suppose, for myself. So today is Friday, 14 November 2025, and this is part of ruminating about surnames and trying on different surname. So this is here I, Tanis, she, her, hers of Seattle, ruminate about which format I would prefer if my name were Tanis Mbappé, radio broadcast via stereo or television via flat screen. So those are both, a stereo is not necessarily the same as a boombox, at least I think of a stereo as kind of more of like, I think a boombox is meant to carry, like, be able, like, you can think of it as like it's possible to carry it around, like, especially if it's battery powered, you're gonna have the little handle and carry around the boombox, and there's, you know, sound goes everywhere. A stereo is kind of like a fixed in one place listening device, and I would say, actually, when I lived in California, Albany, California, there was like a stereo built into the wall. Like there was a radio built into the wall with a dial, like, you know, 1950s kind of thing. And I was like, it'd be so cool to listen to a radio broadcast like that way, kind of thing. Like, do we have a built-in to the house like that one? Is it like an actual stereo box? And I was like, so I do actually like to listen to things. I think if this is like if I'm listening or watching a full soccer game, I actually think listening would be more fun. Television via flat screen is certainly something I've done more in my life, especially for like sports. And my Mbappe is absolutely stunning to look at. Though if he's present, I get to do that, so then the radio broadcast doesn't take away from how beautiful he is, like, in person, I could say. But then, but what if he's away? And I was like, but maybe the radio broadcast is better for if he's away as well, because then I deprive myself of his beauty, and he comes back and I get to see him in person, and it's like, well, he's even more adorable because I haven't looked at him. Okay, you know, just like treat it like treasure. Yeah, I get to, instead of like looking at the treasure in virtual form, if I just, you know, listen to like people talking about the treasure's work, then it, like, you know, that golden beauty on the field, it comes through, and like it gets stored inside, and then he shows up and he's like radiating from the inside out. I don't know. I think I would, even if we ended up at television, I think I would like to try radio broadcast via stereo. That would be for experimenting, self-experimentation, radio broadcast. So that's which would I prefer is Tanis Mbappé, radio broadcast via stereo or television via flat screen.